That was the diversion that it was. I actually forgot what I did. I still need to do floor 7. I need more ambushes. Move on to the main story.
How we go?
I'm gonna get rid of this tactical bonus thing. This is never going to happen. Father, I've discovered yet another one taped to the walls of the temple. Again, what is this place coming to? It's already been torn down and disposed of. I'll go make sure there aren't any more. Something wrong, Father Mansour. If there's trouble, we'll hear you out. Depending on the issue, we'll even take it on as a job. Appreciate your concern, but things aren't quite so dire. Merely had some occasional disturbances of unsavory flyers being posted or even distributed around our grounds. I mean to say someone's harassing the temple. So you should submit a report to the guild or police and have them handle the situation. Actually, these flyers concern a specific individual rather than the temple itself. Thus, we are in no position to press charges. A targeted attack, huh? Don't suppose they're bounties for a certain phantom thief. So, who are the flyers about exactly? Might not be familiar with him, but they regard a young man named Aslan. I feel like I've heard of him somewhere before. He's the driver. An up-and-coming Z1 racer who's been gaining steam lately. In the last race, he came close to catching Maxim Lugan, the current champion. Must be a real speed demon. Rumor has it that this year's Grand Prix will boil down to a straight-out duel between the two. Aslan's from the Central East, and a good-looking guy to boot, so he's been a real top trending topic. Does he have any connection to this temple? His accomplishments as an immigrant have made him something of a celebrity among those of Central Eastern descent. As such, a great deal of his admirers are part of our congregation, making this the perfect place to try and ruin his image. Yes, the flyers do nothing but besmirch his character. They'll claim he's a violent brute, or that he has ties to the mafia. How awful. Any of that rooted in reality? No concrete evidence to speak of, so I don't believe it's worth putting any stock into. The man himself has visited the temple a number of times, and as far as I can tell, he is as devout and sincere as a youth as can be. Sure, but sometimes it's the goody two-shoes that have the most skeletons in their closets. Even still, this is clearly nothing more than a malicious smear campaign. Perhaps the guilty party is envious of his successes. It could also be the work of anti-immigration terrorists who can't handle a Central Easterner rising to fame. All men are equal before the winged goddess, Arusha. He draws no distinction between race or ethnicity. Go against this is nothing short of deplorable. Father Mansour, if these flyers continue to appear, it may constitute a disturbance to the temple. A kid walked into the temple and that totally caught me off guard. In which case, you would still be eligible to file a complaint with the guild despite not being the victim of defamation. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us if the need arises. Only pray it doesn't. Nevertheless, we will keep your kind offer in mind.
I guess we're off.
On the road again. The police. Seen that guy's mug in a while. Not that I'm complaining. The less of his anti-immigration activism, the better. Still, I do wonder about him. Must be a real piece of work. You're on the lookout for someone. Maybe we can give you a hand. No need to concern yourselves. I wouldn't exactly call it a problem anyhow. See, this anti-immigration protester who often comes to demonstrate here hasn't been around lately. Tell us more about this protester. The man's name is Jacobin. He's a wily sort, the kind who will leap at the chance to shove his radical rhetoric down your throat. We've cracked down on it time and again, but it never did much to discourage him. Now he isn't showing up at all. You don't suppose that he's finally had a change of heart? Well, whatever the case, just take care not to get suckered in by any screwball solicitors. Jacobin, he was the one who wrote that threatening letter in Erasion. And apparently he went back to his old ways without missing a beat right after. The guy's anti-immigration sentiments ran deep. If he's gone cold turkey, that raises a few eyebrows. Maybe he just changed locations. Could be. We'll keep an eye out. Keep your feet to the ground.
Shall we go?
Get a sneeze coming on. This guy's name is Sloth. What a name.
Thanks for stopping by.
You imagine naming your child Sloth? Arkwright Solutions, an A-rank bracer and a divine blade, here to sample our Eastern fare. The smell of it's so rich, it takes me right back to Longport. I can feel my mouth watering already. Yeah, well, keep a leash on it until lunchtime. We're just making the rounds in Edith's rumor mills while we work through our 4 SPGs. Oh, well, one juicy tidbit I have is your run-in with the Liu family yesterday. You already know about that. I do, albeit only superficially. While we're on the subject, I've been wondering what became of the syndicate after the fact. The Liu family bigwigs are still somewhere in the capital, same goes for Cao and his men. What they're up to is a mystery, but I do hear the Council of Elders will be making a big announcement soon. You can probably guess what it is. I anticipated a massive gambit from Cao, but it came a lot faster than I was expecting. I'm of no mind to follow his example, but his cunning and audacity are to be admired. To be fair, it isn't as if this is all bad for the syndicate. Maybe not, but that doesn't mean I have to whoop it up. What are you talking about? Well, I, for one, look forward to what the future holds for Heiyue, and by extension, the path you choose to tread. But enough about our internal affairs. I happen to have a piece of information here that might interest you. The True Grievance Brigade has resumed their operations. Why would you think that interests us? So it's true. We'd heard from Elaine that they were on the move, though the guild doesn't have any specifics. At any rate, their core members should all be in custody now after what happened at Aramis. That alone were enough to deter them. They would have disbanded ages ago. Don't know who's currently leading their ranks, but they seem to be more zealous than ever. I thought cockroaches were hard to stomp out. Easterners like us may be on their blacklist, but I doubt they're foolhardy enough to raise a hand against Heiyue. So long as they don't act against us, we'll extend the same courtesy to them. The rest of you aren't off their radars either, so you may want to watch your backs. Point taken. Thank you for the warning. What did she tell us exactly? That they're still operating? I already know that. Someone's calling. Oh, if it ain't the champion himself.
Hey guys, how's it hanging? It's been a while since we met face to face. You've just been counting down the days, I bet.
Who gave you my number? Yeah, I'm hanging up. Hold on a second. The least you could do is hear me out. I'll just get to the point. There's something important I wanted to ask of you guys. Really now, on the same day as the big race, doesn't seem like a coincidence. You can put it that way, but I'd rather we go over the nitty-gritty in person. Now's a bad time, though. I won't push my luck. D1-related request, huh? Guess there's a chance it's connected to those terrorists. Actually, I think we can work you in. All right, glad to hear it. Meet at 10:30 then. Be waiting at the Orbital Cafe in front of the station. See you on the flip side. What do you think Maxim wants from us? He got all tense out of nowhere halfway through that call. Maybe there's trouble brewing over at the Grand Prix. I don't know any better than you, but whatever it is has my nose twitching. So fresh and so clean. Ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh and clean. Save. We'll meet Les Maximes at Le Café.
Hey, there you guys are. And not a moment too soon. I believe it's been a month since we've seen one another, Van. Apart from in the garden, that is.
It's been that long already. Doesn't feel like it. The way you've been helping my assistants. Wasn't he just in... Oh, no, that was on the other timeline. Gonna take a wild stab, though, and say you ain't here just to catch up. I'll explain that and more to you in a bit. First, sit down and take a load off. Thank you for placing an order for us, though I do feel a bit guilty letting you pay. Yeah, no need to put yourself out on our account. Just think of it as a reward for all the times you were there for me. Don't mind if I do, then. Let's start with what Renee's doing here. Not that I don't already have an idea. Right, I won't beat around the bush. Long story short, today's Grand Prix is being targeted by anti-immigration terrorists. For real? Should we be discussing this in a cafe? Wait, am I the only one who's surprised by that? Well, all the signs so far were sort of pointing to it. First off, we came in knowing that leftover anti-immigration terrorists were still kicking about. Then we've got the Z1 Grand Prix finals, which immigrants are going to turn up in droves to see. Add to that the involvement of a CID analyst, and the rest is self-explanatory. See what you mean now. Plus, one of the favorites in today's race is Aslan, who comes from the Central East. It only makes sense that the terrorists would have their sights set on him. You're absolutely correct. Even despite the existence of Red Star, racers in the past were exclusively of white descent. But in recent years, the number of Eastern and Central Eastern racers has grown to the point where they're no longer an exception. Among them, a star of hope for the Central Easterners was born in the form of Aslan. Nowadays, there are quite a few people who view the Z1 races as a symbol of ethnic integration. Can definitely feel it going in that direction. But of course, anti-immigration terrorists wouldn't take much of a fancy to that. So they've demanded that the race's organizers call off the Z1 Grand Prix altogether. And by they, I mean the True Grievance Brigade. From what I hear, they also demanded that the police release their fellow members who were caught hiding in Aramis. See, so the remnants really are still active. It's just as we suspected. They'll stop at nothing to achieve their goals, but of course, you won't give in to their demands, right? It goes without saying, the Grand Prix organizers haven't even considered suspending the event. And naturally, the CID plans to do everything in its power to address the situation. To start, we'll be establishing a strict watch in and around the circuit venue as a precautionary measure. However, these radicals have a little left to lose. The more we tighten the screws, the likelier it is that they'll involve innocent people. Certainly can't be too careful, given the decent number of members purported to be at large. So, as a bit of added insurance, you want to enlist the aid of Arkwright Solutions. which at this particular moment means you get a lane as part of the package. Classic Renee, the pampered prince never misses a trick. Enough with the pampered prince bit, and it's Mr. Kincaid to you. But yes, as you surmised, the CID would like to once again issue an official 4 SPG. This is just one of those things where I think to myself, like, sure, you can contract out to other people and things like that, but this should be something that you're totally capable of handling. You know? Domestic issues and all that other good stuff. You know, do you only have like 5 people in the Calvardian Intelligence Division? Like, come on. Come on. Your task is to flush out and apprehend the terrorists. Your assigned area will be the Speedway's interior. In the meantime, my men and I will handle the perimeter. Sounds like a plan. By the way, I'll be acting as a liaison between you and the event management. So if there's anything you need to pass on, just give me a call. Understood. Right then, I'd better head out. Got a few things to take care of before the race. Sure thing, catch you later. True Grievance Brigade. It didn't seem as if they were tied to any other forces back at Aramis either. There's a definite chance that someone will capitalize on their schemes just like before. As long as they put up a decent fight. Speak for yourself, I'd rather they call it quits. Anyway, let's scarf down some lunch and get to investigating. A grand circuit. Stopped snowing. So it has, though it's still a little overcast. Grand Circuit, Edith's 12th district. I remember looking around here with Van during the Revolution Festival. Yeah, you were sightseeing like no one's business. This is my first time in the area. Wait, what's that? Oh, you mean the Ferris wheel. Ah, Ferris wheel. Get it? It's an attraction in which one rides a gondola attached to a rotating rim, allowing them to take in the surrounding views. Cool. Is it like taking the Aerotram in Basel? Doesn't feel quite the same, but there's definitely a resemblance visually. You may not know it, but this place also has one of the most up-to-date bouldering facilities out there. Bouldering. There are some who make a hobby of scaling natural rock formations with just their bare hands. Bouldering imitates that in a safe environment for people to enjoy, right? Someone's been reading up. I tried it out on one of my days off, and let me tell you, it really gets your blood pumping. Oh yeah? Color me intrigued. Unlike the Ferris wheel, this is the kind of thing you can have fun with solo. I get where y'all coming from, but now ain't the time to be fooling around. Come on, let's go check the perimeter before we head into the Speedway.
The beer garden is awfully crowded today.
It sure is. Wait, isn't that?
You see... Oh... That's Grandma over there. That's Grandma.
Welcome to our official Z1 shop. You're free to look around.
Finally buy these racing
Come
gloves.
back whenever.
Only took 10,000 years. Which I was
Hello.
banished from my homeland.
Thank you.
Come on in. My stuff can't be beat. I'll be waiting for you.
Yep, that's Grandma. Dominique.
Oh,
hello, everyone.
So you guys decided to come too, huh?
On business, but yeah. Forget that. What are you doing here, Graham?
I'll have you know, Victor and I go way back. He used to work at one of my go-to restaurants during my glory days.
At one point, Dominique took a real fancy to my cooking. Ever since, she's been giving me pointers in just about everything. I wouldn't have been able to get Mamar up and running without her support.
You don't say. Never would have guessed you two had a history. Definitely a shocker. That's not what I meant. What are you doing here at the Grand Circuit? Or do I even need to ask? Come to think of it, I recall hearing that you've offered advice to professional athletes before. Does that mean you're here to coach the Z1 racers?
Only the ones on the younger side. Though I've also been putting in my 2 mirror on how they're running this whole affair.
Judith and Van sure weren't exaggerating about her. She's a granny of all trades if I ever saw one. And yet she rarely ventures into the public eye. See now why the rumors refer to her as a legend. Bet she could hold up in a scuffle too. Dames like her must be one in a million. Alright, enough feeding her ego. What I want to know is, where'd Yums get off to? Oh, that's right, I don't see her around.
She and Maxim made a promise to ride the Ferris wheel together. They should be back before long, though.
A play date, huh? Those two are pretty chummy now. Nothing to worry about then, right? Save for the potential terrorist situation. Check around the Ferris wheel just in case.
Ooh, a Ferris wheel. I'm getting the urge to climb all the way to the top of it.
What kind of crazy-ass urge is that? And don't even think about trying it. You hear me?
This is the Ferris wheel. It makes you feel so short from up close.
That was so much fun!
I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, it's Van and his friends!
Hey all, how's the operation going?
Don't you have a race to prepare for?
Operation?
You can relax. We'll get the job done. Oh, you may. How was riding the Ferris wheel with Maxim?
I could see the whole circuit from the tippy top!
Oh, that must be the best seat in the house.
Yeah. Too bad we couldn't stay on it longer.
Oh, well, you know what they say. Time flies when you're having fun. Tell you what, if we get another chance, I'll go around 3 more times with you.
Really? Cross your heart?
Cross my heart.
Hope to die.
I'll make sure Yume here gets back to Paulette safe and sound.
So, Maxim's gonna die, and we're gonna be like, no! And then, we're gonna go back in time and save his life. Cross his heart.
Oh, and before I forget, I've already arranged to get you guys into the Speedway. Just give your names at the ticket counter and they'll let you through. Best of luck out there.
For sure. Thanks.
Bye, Van! Bye, everyone!
Like Maxim is headed straight for the racetrack himself. Something bothering you, Van? Nah, it's nothing. We're gonna want to follow his lead soon.
Alrighty then. Let me figure out how much I want to bet, and...
Aaron, no betting and no getting drunk either.
I wasn't gonna... Hey, come on, chill. It was just a joke.
Was it, though? Was it really?
At any rate, we're here strictly on business. Do try to contain yourself.
Give our names to the counter. You're looking to purchase a ticket? Unless you have a reservation, I'm afraid it's standing room only. Name's Van Arkwright. Maxim Lugan should have something set up for us. Oh, so you're friends of Mr. Lugan. My apologies. Mr. Van Arkwright, was it? Yes, I have you right here. There'll be 9 event passes for you. Go right ahead and enter the venue. Got it. VIP treatment isn't so bad. Tee-hee. A little past noon, and the race is scheduled to start at 2 p.m. sharp. Didn't ask for a better driving weather either. Yes, it feels great outside and the sky is clearing up nicely. On the other hand, the stands are already filling in, even with 2 hours to go. Just goes to show how much they're champing at the bit. This is, after all, the Grand Prix's annual finals. The crowd's fervor is almost palpable. How do we plan on finding those bozos then? Don't tell me you plan on grilling the audience, one seat at a time. Even with so many people here, doing that would only draw unwanted attention to us. Incidentally, Renee gave you some sort of data before we parted. What was it? Just a little trick to help us zero in on the enemy. Terrace weaponry of choice are specially designed to bypass standard metal detectors. As luck would have it, we managed to get our hands on a similar model from the Black Light District. If you install this data and perform a shard search, it should be able to identify them. Best of luck. Oh, the CID thinks of everything. I'd call it over-preparing, but if it saves us some hassle, then we might as well roll with it. I'll forward the data to you guys. That way we can split up and cover as much ground as possible. First order of business will be to pinpoint any terrorists hiding at the speedway. Then we surround them, close in, and corral the whole group at once. Simple as that. It's just one thing. I want Rosette to act as our operator. That means compiling everybody's findings and passing along my instructions when needed. As you wish. Good, now let's get this done. Right, understood. Alright, we're all fanned out. Time for me to start moving too.
Okay, the Zyphas are all set up. Now we just need to do a shard search. We've got to catch these terrorists so we can keep Yume and the others safe.
Where did we all fan out to? See any of my party members?
We gotta hurry.
San Carlos, you're the only one we can turn to for this. They know we'll have to forfeit our slot. Give me a break, I retired a decade ago. My foot hasn't even healed all the way. The world of Z1 is no Sunday drive, you know. Won't argue that point, but still. Carlos, that guy, that's the guy who used to race for Lino way back when. Seems to be deep in conversation with one of their reps. Nothing's popping up on the search though, so I doubt they're with the terrorists. Since poking into their business, guess I'll go sweep the stands again. Hello, Mr. Suspicious. Getting a hit from that guy. No two ways about it. Doesn't seem like he's part of a group, though. I'll just stand by and keep an eye on him until Rosette calls. The rest of the team have completed their investigations. Ultimately, the only positive search result was the man you came across. I just checked with Renee. He said the others might be outside the arena. If not, then chances are that they're hiding somewhere on the racetrack. Anyway, I'm gonna move in on this one. Can you relay the plan to everyone else? Certainly. Excuse me, you got a second? Need something? Let's just say you've been selected for a stop and search. Mind telling me what you're concealing there? How could you possibly? And in case you get any funny ideas, we already have you surrounded. Surrender quietly. Didn't realize I'd drawn so much attention. So be it. Trying to make a suicide run. Not on my watch. Big talk for a little lady. Why does she make my spine chill? Forget it. Sorry, but this road's closed. Give yourself up without a fuss, and you may still get off with a minimal sentence. He's already made a fuss. He's running. Could use blade too. This escape's no longer an option. In that case, we just let him put on all his gear and all other stuff. Comrades to arms. So his playmates were hiding under shard camouflage. He wasn't just running around randomly. Nothing we weren't expecting. How are you holding up, Elaine? Perfectly fine, thank you. I think we can all agree that the odds are stacked against you. Even then, you're still gonna pick a fight. Don't take us lightly. We are the true grievance brigade, the leaders Calvard needs most. Now that our sponsors have dropped us, our backs are against the wall. A shame we couldn't drag those blasted immigrants into this. We'll just have to settle for taking you down with us instead.
Comrades, let us make our stand.
We're just gonna be fighting a bunch of guys with guns in the middle of a racetrack where there's a bunch of people hanging out. This what we're gonna be doing?
I like where this is headed.
Eradicate the immigrants! Make it count!
Definitely a way for me to get them both.
I suggest we strike now.
Think fast!
Y'all didn't have faith.
Stop right there!
You needed to have faith.
Now we're talking. I suggest we strike now.
Going all in! Make it count!
And Rosette's SCLM circle is gargantuan.
You blind fools! You blind fools!
This is it! Silver win!
Our chance!
Eradicate the immigrants!
None of this is going to work out the way I want it to, so I operate like that.
There! Here's my chance.
Reset!
No, you won't.
So that should be an easy miss.
Chance!
We're done for. Long live the Republic. Down for the count? I could have gone for more of a challenge, to be honest. Genesis still hasn't reacted so far. Does that mean there's no corrosion going on? Difficult to say. This may not have been all of their surviving members. Right, we can't afford to drop our guards. For now, let's hand these guys over to Renee. At that same time, the CID apprehended a separate unit of the True Grievance Brigade. And combined with the one Van's team had captured, all remnants of the group were accounted for and in custody. Thus did the brigade's plans to interfere with the Z1 Grand Prix and negotiate the release of their comrades skid to a halt. Well, that takes care of the terrorists. So now what? Do we keep up the investigation here or move somewhere else entirely? Good question. I'm still getting a whiff of something suspicious. The Genesis. It's reacting, so we're on the right track. At the very least, we need to stay sharp until the race is over and done with. Shall we take another turn through the stands and garages? And anywhere else we can think of while we're at it. Poking around blindly irks me a bit, but I suppose it's the best we can do right now. So, who do we think is going to get controlled? Is it going to be Maxim? Maxim's going to get controlled by the corrosion and blame us for something ridiculous. Having flushed out the terrorists, Van and company continue their investigation with a wary eye.
And the cars are off!
No suspicious activity to be found. The Z1 Grand Prix went on as scheduled. The group remained vigilant. The race plowed ahead with a number of dramatic developments along the way. In the end, it was a showdown between Maxim and Aslan in a fierce and fervent bid for first place. While keeping in touch with the CID, Van and the others elected to watch the deciding moment from the stands. At long last, the race entered its final leg. Ah yes, let's stop doing our jobs and watch entertainment.
And we're down to the final lap. Who will bring home the glory? The Red Comet or our new rising star?
It all comes down to this.
We'll know the winner soon enough.
Will Maxim hold on to his lead, or will Aslan pull out in front?
Aslan.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Who knew a bunch of guys driving in circles could hook you in like this?
I find myself unable to tear my eyes away.
Same here. Even I'm starting to feel anxious.
In all my years of watching the Z1, I can't remember the last time things were this hotly contested.
That's saying something coming from you. This is a dead heat for the history books.
You can do it, Maxim.
Just one more push. The finish line is right in your reach.
If he clinches this, he'll have a four-peat. Not that that means I'll forgive him.
Ooh, a last-minute maneuver.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing?
Talk about a photo finish.
Maxim?
Good.
Goddess.
Maxim?
Wait, you made triggers it? Come on! First Albert and that other home chick slice, and now Maxim. Gotta be kidding me. A very explosive finish. Didn't even find out who won. Takes care of the terrorists. What do we do now? Move the investigation. Something suspicious. This feeling. Haphazardly investigate. What they mean to say is investigate until the race is coming to a close and then stop investigating and then just watch. Y'all remember what just happened? The explosion, I mean. Gone through another rewind. I can sense it. Yes, it was right after we turned the terrace over to Renee. More to the point, can't let that tragedy play out again. Let's pull ourselves together and get to it. In order to do so, we need to get a firm grasp on what actually happened. An explosion of that scale couldn't have been just a simple crash. I'm of the same mind. In all probability, one of the Z1 cars had some manner of explosive attached to it. No way. But who would do that? We've already caught all of the terrorists. More remnants, for one. Or perhaps a more reasonable theory is that they have a collaborator. From my point of view, the explosion seemed to originate from Aslan's vehicle. That was the way I saw it too. About this whole rewinding business, though, what a profoundly fascinating experience. Still, I have a sneaking feeling that I've gone through this someplace before. Don't tell me she remembers the poison gas incident on Nemeth Island. Feels like getting tossed in a washing machine, if I'm being real. Back on topic, it's a safe bet that Aslan's car is the one carrying the explosive. And Maxim was unlucky enough to get caught up in it too. We're short on time, let's just work with what we know and get to stepping. Yeah, let's make our way over to Ingrid's garage and get a look at his ride. We'll give Renee and Maxim a heads up so they can run interference for us. Understand the situation, but we already performed an inspection on the car before bringing it in. Fairly certain there are no issues to be found. Maybe so, but this is a request from the CID. Not to mention Maxim is worried for us too. Really put me at ease if we could clear this up. Well, if you insist, then I suppose it's fine. Not to worry, this will take no time at all. Look, we're already done. Wait, no we're not. Aslan's just as good a guy as we heard, huh? Yes, I'm glad he was willing to vouch for us. I mean, not his choice. We the police. Rodney, what are you doing here? Thought the final checks were finished yesterday. Well, ain't that sketchy? Excuse me a sec. Oh, wow. Someone didn't run first? Hey, no need to rough up our mechanic. All the lousy timing. You're not Rodney. What in blazes? Is it me, or have we seen this guy's mug before? If I squint just right, yeah. Appears to have trimmed up a tad since our last encounter. That's some dedicated camouflage. But it wasn't enough to pull the wool over our eyes. He's the one who caused a stir over in Eurasian, the anti-immigration activist Jacobin. I don't remember that guy at all. Didn't think you had the cojones to strut around in the open. The cojones. You're that infernal Spriggan. Oil me once, shame on you, but twice? Man, I found the bomb. It was wedged in a gap under the engine cover. Nice work, Catra. I almost drove out with that. And so, the miniature explosive attached to Aslan's Z1 race car was safely removed. The real mechanic, whom Jacobin had knocked out and tied up, was then found unharmed. From there, the Z1 Grand Prix kicked off once more, with the competition heating up more than ever.
This time, it's Maxim tailing after Aslan.
You're kidding! Damn it!
The explosions are so funny. It's kind of silly too, because I feel like if we're operating under the assumption that there's a bomb, immediately I would want to check all the participant cars, not just the one, you know? It doesn't make any sense to just inspect one vehicle. You know, I know. Here we are again. Another rewind. And the timing was exactly the same as before. In the end, we couldn't stop the tragedy from repeating itself. Though it did play out differently compared to the last time. And right down to how the race was going. But the part that stuck out to me most was the size of the explosion. I noticed that too. It was bigger. No, that's not right. It was clearly bigger. Compared to the first explosion, it was way smaller, and the cars were slightly less damaged. You're right. I didn't see it in as much detail as Fairy, but I did have the same thought. What I don't understand is how it even happened. We definitely removed the bomb that was placed in Aslan's car. And there must have been two from the very beginning. That's the only logical conclusion. First explosion was caused by both bombs going off, while the second was caused by just one. Put that way, the logic checks out. In summary, an explosive was planted not only in Mr. Aslan's vehicle, but in Mr. Lugan's as well. Do I have that right? Couldn't even get a word in edgewise there. But yeah, I'd say y'all hit the nail on the head. Okay, but here's the part that doesn't make any sense. For both of these explosions to happen, the racers had to do some crazy maneuver. The first time, Aslan was ramming into his vehicle and launched Maxim into the air that caused both cars to collide together, and they both exploded. For the second time, Maxim skidded out or tried to do like cut him off on the back so that he would spin out or something like that, and for some reason that caused an explosion. So there's not a lot of sense being made on the explosions. You guys sure are a sharp bunch. Something tells me you're stumped on who actually planted the extra bomb, though. Few ideas come to mind, but we don't have enough material to narrow things down. That brings us to you, Judith. Got a job that only our resident prowler could pull off. See where this is going? You want me to stake out the Etoise garage, right? I believe that's how that's supposed to be pronounced. Yep. Limelight's all yours. If everything goes right, we'll have our other culprit. But what about the Ingrid bomb? Are we just going to leave it be? We may have to let Jacobin walk for now. Apprehending him would be sure to cause a disturbance. And if that puts the other culprit on their guard, we'll be right back at square one. Time's not on our side, so I'll get right to it.
Come out, whoever you are. Huh? There's no room for doubt. It was right there in his hand. Still, him? I can hardly believe it. And there you have it. The culprit's none other than Maxim Lugan himself. But that begs the question, why is he sacrificing his own life just to take down a fellow competitor?
Well, good work, either way. Possibility did cross my mind. Let's just put a pin in this for now. Got one more favor to ask of our world-class Phantom Thief. Shoot, at this point, I might as well go the whole Selge. This time, it's right up your alley. I want you to pull a heist. You'll have to time it while Maxim's guard is down, just before the race begins. As for what you'll be stealing, what else could it be but those 2 bombs? Sounds like my kind of fun. You're on. Wait, how do you expect me to steal from 2 cars at the same time? No one said you had to do it alone. Don't you got a top cat you can call on? There's no way that...
Here we go, folks! Our Z1 racers are all lined up at the starting grid. And what's this? We have a surprise gift and message from His Highness, Prince Cherie! Glory to Calvard, and glory to the Z1 Grand Prix!
See the little sparkles? I see the sparkles. Sexy grandma go, I don't know.
Haha! Here's a surprise.
They pulled that off in less than an hour?
I didn't realize this was in the works.
Wow! Pretty colors.
What a lovely sight.
That prince knows how to put on a show.
So that's what fireworks look like. They're beautiful.
They sure pulled out all the stops.
Indeed. That they managed to do so in time is equally astounding.
Surprise fireworks! From Elsheim's crown prince of all people?
Hold it right there.
You are hereby under arrest on charges of attempted terrorism.
Huh? What? What gave me away?
Yeah, where's the evidence?
Typical Van. Always coming up with outrageous requests at the 11th hour.
Where's the evidence? How do they know that he... I mean, maybe his fingerprints are on it, I guess. Alright. Okay.
Regardless, we'll have to give Prince Cherie our gratitude for allowing us to use his name.
Yes. The guild is indebted to him once more as well. On to the next phase.
Well, that was a nice little present. Okay, time to get my head in the race.
Target acquired. Wonder how it went on Grammy's end.
My transformations may be limited, but age hasn't dulled this old tabby just yet.
Limited? You're better at this right now than I've ever been.
Everything's going according to plan.
That leaves just one mission left.
Right. All we have to do is see this race through to the end. The rest is up to you, Van.
Yep, no extra grandma costume. With that, Van and crew's third iteration of the Grand Prix started up anew. As expected, it came down to a head-to-head battle between Maxim and Aslan. Once again, the race arrived at the final ill-fated lap.
And we're down to the final lap. Who will bring home the glory? The Red Comet or our new rising star?
Maxim, this is the day I leave you in my dust.
Aslan, you really have gotten more skill. Just don't hold this against me.
Maxim is moving to cut Aslan off.
Hit the detonator. No, it misfired.
Maxim's speed is dropping. Did he push in too hard?
Fine, then. I'll just wreck him the old-fashioned way.
Alrighty, let's do this.
dropped out already. You're trading paint with me?
Sorry, I'm sending you off course.
Out of my way!
The champion stands his ground! What phenomenal handling!
And the Red Comet soars away. Didn't think he'd push back on that. But at least he's too far to ram into Oslo now.
Maxim catches up with a burning vengeance! The Red Comet's at full throttle, blazing ahead at unthinkable speeds!
Huh?
What a catastrophe! The two top contenders for victory have both gone out of bounds! We can only pray they're unharmed!
Maxim?
That crimson aura. That sudden burst of strength. Our champ was corroded from minute one. He's headed for the parking lot. We'll have to drive after him. Quick!
Okay, this is, silly. From there, Van immediately rendezvoused with the others, who proceeded to split up between his, Elaine's, and Kincaid's vehicles. They then took off in pursuit of Maxim, who they had located making his way to the suburbs.
Where do you suppose Maxim is headed?
Who knows? He sure isn't hurting for options.
Let me ask this question. Okay, Maxim has a guy over his shoulder and is running somewhere. Where does he run to, and how do we not catch up to him with any sort of, like, reasonable speed? We have the Divine Blade of Silver with us. She can cover distance so fast. What's his face? Van was driving a freaking race car. Start up the race car and catch up, sucker. There's a lot of options for us. And I don't know how we got to here.
I let you three come because you insisted, but the second things get hairy, I'm dropping you off. Got it?
Oh, this is ridiculous. And you brought these three? Are you insane?
Yes, we understand.
Maxim.
That buffoon. Just what is he thinking?
The car drives faster the harder you press your body on it. I thought that was also interesting, but I'm guessing the surge in strength was, you know, him picking up another driver's body and running off with it.
Katra, everything ready?
Yes, I managed to patch into the transceiver in his car. Reset, how's the communications link coming along?
The process is complete, Mr. Silesian.
Thanks. I'll initiate the call then.
Can you hear me, champ?
What in the...
Hope you don't mind us hacking your transceiver. Couldn't help but wonder what spurred this on. Thought I'd give you a chance to explain.
It's got nothing to do with you.
If that's the case, then would you be willing to tell me?
What? You're the biggest victim here, but you won't have to suffer in silence anymore.
The idea came to mind that Maxim would be part of the True Grievance Brigade, but I let that go because that would mean that Maxim's arc, like, turns out to be absolutely nothing across these two games. And I don't think they would do that to his character. So I let it drop, but let's see if they rock with it.
What?
Bring an
an end to all of it. So don't worry.
Maxim?
Finally awake, huh? Rotten bastard. You've gotten your sick kicks out of them for the last time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This conversation is over. So do me a favor and quit following us!
Damn, we got cut off.
He said Paulette was the victim here.
Any idea what he meant by that?
No, not a clue.
Uh,
Huh?
This place is...
Dirk Memorial Park. The place he's never been able to let go of.
You're those folks who come around to exterminate monsters. Just had someone force their way into the forested area. I think he dragged another person in with them, too. We're both dressed in racing suits, but the air about them was nothing but normal. Please, sir, settle down. You're that bracer. Yes, we're here as part of a joint effort with the Intelligence Division. I'm Kincaid, of the CID. Those extermination requests you mentioned were issued by me. Just so happens that we've had 2 persons of interest flee into this park. My collaborators and I are in the midst of pursuing them. We'd appreciate it if you could let us take things from here. I see. I guess I can rest easy with the CID and the Guild on the case. Here's the key. Best of luck to you. I think we need the key. Really smooth talked your way through that, one, huh? Drastic times call for drastic measures. While we may not be Spriggans, this much should be within our bounds.
Now, with regards to what comes next...
We know. It'd be better for us to stay behind.
but
Sorry, Yume, but it's just too dangerous to go any further.
Shouldn't have brought them along in the first place.
you don't have to worry. So be a good girl and wait for us, okay? We'll get Maxim out of there without a scratch. Promise.
Yes. Very. Okay. I'll wait.
All right then, let's get moving.
The forest area is to the left past the entrance, correct?
Yeah. The champ brought us there for a request last fall. We'd better catch up before it's too late.
What do we need a key for? If Maxim's already there, he already busted open the gate. Y'all seeing this? Boy, do I. It's like we stepped right into another world. Area has been completely corroded. What's more, the higher elements seem to be in effect. Maxim and Paulette made such good memories here. Yeah, it's got a special place in his heart even now. Like that was any excuse for him to dump his schmaltzy love stories on us. You suppose Mr. Lugan's destination is the memorial tree deeper within? Without a doubt. Where Maxim and Paulette buried their time capsule 7 years ago. Well, that's why. We want to be prepared for anything before treading in further. Yeah, ready up, gang. It's go time. Hoorah!
Whew, that hits the spot.
Alright. I guess I'll mark here.